Boom, what up? Minish Cap 1 only here. Back at you with some classic League of Legends Minish Cap 1 only content. We are doing some analytical gameplay here, so I figured I'd change things up a little bit and give you guys some big brain content here. I'm gonna be talking about how to counter range matchups when you are weak-sided. So right here, this game, we invade level 1 with Predator, get first blood for my Xayah, which is really good. This game was played in, I think, this is about 600 LP Grandmaster. Is about what that account is right there. Proxy didn't feed that account's about 600 LP. And I am versus a Gangplank. So things to remember this game is, yeah, it's not the best matchup for Singed, and building your standard first item into it feels honestly really bad. But I thought I would change things up a little bit and just experiment with an item and see if there's anything that I can do to like make the matchup go a bit easier for me. He is being super greedy here with first strike, but obviously this would work with him going grasp as well. But I start fling here, and then the yeah, I remember now. So he zones me out with this ward and then just pokes the absolute crap out of me, runs at me in the bush and just continues poking. Just poke, gotta deal with it. But this is actually sort of low-key good for me, because then he gets a little bit greedy later into the lane, which helps me out a bit. So yeah, I was just like thinking about, well, how do I'm gonna put vision on my perspective only so you guys can see like what I was thinking during the game. But how is it that I play against like matchups like Gangplank, you know, Gnar, for example? This would work very well against. I mean, Teemo, probably this would work well against as well. How do I deal with these matchups? Like if I don't know for sure if my jungler is able to come top. It happens that this game, you know, my jungler comes top a lot to help me out, but I played this strat versus a few ranged top laners where I was weak-sided, where my jungler path towards bottom is what that means. And it worked out honestly surprisingly well. So here's Vi. I'll explain more about the strat here in a second, but here's Vi coming around for the gank. We know that he has no flash, so we just run him down with the ghost, with the pred, and then let Vi take the kill here. Very nice, love to see it. But the strat is actually, and you're gonna think this is weird, it is Anathema's Chains Rush. Yeah, Anathema's Chains Rushing in the solo lane to nullify the range champion snowball, or just the counter matchup snowball. Now, this would the two champions this would not work against, probably pretty obvious, but it's Fiora and Camille. Any sort of sustained percent HP tree damage, this would not work against. Same thing with Vayne, this would not work against Vayne. But against the majority of champions in top lane, if they're like a hard counter, you know, like your Gangplanks, your Gnars, your Teemos, Jace, Lucian. I played this against a Lucian top lane and he couldn't do any damage to me. Rushing Anathema's Chains, like, it's actually so nice on Singed, because you just get to have like a crap ton of HP to start off the game. So you have a plus 650 HP, 20 ability haste is really big as well, and then you also get the damage reduction, which is awesome. And then if you, this is more relevant versus melee champions, but against all champions that Anathema's Chains is targeted on, once it's fully charged, it reduces their tenacity by 20% when you're near them. So Anathema's Chains actually is very, very good at preventing an enemy range top laner or just an enemy counter top laner from snowballing. There we have Vi sneaking into the bush in the lane. You can see her behind me here. She's sneaking in slowly. Could not get him, unfortunately, here, I think, because she's a little bit too far away, but that's okay. I could have gotten sooner on the gank as well, but not the biggest deal in the world. Do some damage to him in the trade, regardless. He would actually be doing more damage to me right now if he had Grasp, because Grasp would proc 2 or 3 times in one of those trades, but you know, in general, not that bad, because he didn't expect to lose the lane this hard. We actually made him go, I think, this game. You know what? I'll keep Gangplank's KDA a surprise, but I had an absolutely ridiculous KDA this game. I think I went 13, 2, and 17. I think I started with Anathema's Chains, but I ended up doing the most damage in the game, which is pretty ridiculous. So here we're doing a little proxy. The reason why I'm proxying here is because the wave was soft frozen by Gangplank here, and I don't know where the enemy jungler is, so I execute, only take 1 wave. Wukong was actually in topside. He was coming towards me, but the fact that I was proxying there made him delayed to walk down to Dragon. That gave Vi time to take Dragon here. which normally wouldn't happen. So that's sort of what you want to look for with proxying and high elo anyways, is that you wanna proxy around like objective timers and stuff like that, so that your teammates, especially with the jungler that's good at taking early dragons like Vi, that can just go and like snipe the dragon really fast. Because, you know, maybe if my teammate was like what's a bad dragon taker early, like Fiddlesticks, right? Fiddlesticks is a good jungler, he's a strong pick, but not the best dragon taker in the entire world, right? Like his dragon clear is very slow early. And that just kind of requires some experience to like the jungle matchups and stuff. But with Vi, I saw she was near bot side, and I have to unfreeze the wave, so even if I die there, it's probably worth it because my team gets dragon there, right? Pretty nice. So I have Tabby Rush here, just trying to kite out the barrels. He misses barrels over chasing for me. Cut up to the wall. And I go for the goofling, miss it, fling him anyways. I think I get out here because he has flashback up actually, but he wouldn't have had damage to kill me there with flash Q, so he backs off. Again, if he had grass, he probably kills me there, but he got so greedy in champion select with first strike. That being said, I probably would have only died one more time this game if he had grasp, and that would have been the exact spot where I would have died. Start running back to lane here, pop Predator just to get back to tower a bit faster. Grab the fling. I'm close to 6 here. I pop 6, then just all in him as soon as I see him. Head back a little bit. When he hits the barrel there, I know I have kill pressure, so I just walk up, poison, fling back into poison, and then just chase him down. So again, right there, I'm gonna actually highlight that kill for you guys, because that's the beauty of doing post-game content like this, is I can actually show you. This purple bar right here is my XP until level. So I know that I'm close to level 6 here, and then that's why I'm looking for the fling, and as soon as a few of these minions over here die, that one right there, that minion, pop 6, then you start the fight. He ults me right on top of him. I don't want to eat those ultimate shots because that can do a lot of damage over time, right? But I walk out, he tries to get the barrel for movement speed to run away, fling him away from his flash wall, and then he knows as soon as he's flung over there that he has to flash right there or he'll probably die. But I have Ghost and ult up and poison, so I just run him down and kill him with just the Tabby. And that's with him having a Sheen. And you'll see, like, the Sheen is really annoying to play against normally if you're playing Singed versus Gangplank. But the beauty of Anathema's Chains Rush is the components. Giant's Belt is plus 350 HP, and Kindle Gem is plus 200. So I get plus 550 HP off of components. And it's very hard for him to deal enough damage, even through just the Giant's Belt Kindle Gem, or even the Kindle Gem by itself, or Giant's Belt by itself, to be able to do much of anything useful. Like, here I am down CS, but the thing is, like, I'm minimizing my deaths, and I'm minimizing the possibility of Gangplank getting fed at all, which is super good. So Vi is near topside here. I'm spam pinging. She wants Herald, but the Gangplank kill is so valuable. We just run him down here with the Predator. Then Vi comes in for a nice smack. Yeah, that one was definitely a more jungle reliant kill, but the fact that she actually abandons the Herald to come help me is really good. Then I ping her off the minions because she got the kill. You know, let me have my farm, please, kind of thing. Making sure to fling the cannon for the last hits because Minish Cap always misses cannons. Then walk past tower. I'm gonna proxy one tower here because Gangplank was dead. I think he TP's the tower here. No, his TP is not up here. Okay. So we just proxy the wave, get the plate. There's a teleport. Then I'm gonna go ahead and sit right here and leave. So what I did not know this game was that he actually had a pink ward right there. But I'm recalling right there in Fog of War where you can't actually see in this little alleyway. Under the assumption that he might have a ward there. Because a few of the times I walked up the tower this game, I saw him sort of do what he did right there. He'll walk back and poke towards the bush to see if I'll walk out. In case he thinks I'm proxying, he'll like walk back there and poke into the bush. And I noticed him doing that, so I assumed the only reason he would do that is if he had a ward in there. I didn't know for sure if there was a pink. Turns out there was, so that's why I recalled in that position. So pinging forward for the Gangplank again, see if Vi wants to come. I think she does here. Setting up a little soft freeze here. He has no flash, and he's just like super vulnerable. He probably sees my items here, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like Giant's Belt, Kindle Gem. This guy has so much HP. What's he buying? You know, the ultimate anti-counter item, Anathema's Chains. I love it. It's actually so fun. So my team's fighting over here. I know that Vi's not here because they're fighting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start playing for the push. I'm all-inning while they're fighting over here. And my team appears to mostly win this fight. I think they do. Yeah, they do. Okay. So I decided to let me rewind 15 seconds. whenever I see them fighting, and as soon as he uses his ultimate on the team fight, I'm all-inning him right there. I couldn't kill that barrel, unfortunately. I think I killed that one. No, I didn't. He's kiting me back towards the bush where there's a barrel waiting, but again, he has Sheen and Caulfields, and I have Giant's Belt Kindle Gem, and I am just tanking these keys like it's nobody's business, right? He's having a hard time dealing with me, because if I was building like normal items, I would have been poked out by now, right? He would have pushed me on a lane. I wouldn't be able to do anything else, but I have Giant's Belt Kindle Gem and Tabby. Like, I don't have any AP really to speak of, but it's very hard for him to kill me regardless, and the fact that it's harder for me to die means I'm getting way more farm than I normally would versus a Gangplank. Because normally versus Gangplank, assuming you're going to build, like, oh, let me go Giant's Belt, Ruby Crystal, Amped Helm, I have 0 armor, maybe I go tier 2 boot, but then I'm delaying my item right, because Demonic is 3k, Rocket Belt's 3.2, Rylai's is 2.6, which is more forgiving, but Rylai's is also not going to prevent Gangplank from murdering you if he gets on top of you, because he one-shots you, right? But with Anathemas, I have no damage, but I live long enough, right? I live for so long that I end up dealing damage because of just my health bar being so big. That I can, like, I remember at one point I pushed Wukong to like half HP while they were chasing me with, I think, no AP items in my inventory, just Anathema's chains. But yeah, missed cannon there, unfortunately, no big deal. I have teleport up and I'm poked out, so I'm gonna go ahead and TV back in. Anathema's chains, put it on Gangplank immediately, let it start charging up. There it is, Anathema's chains on Gangplank. And then my stats right now for 12 minutes is almost 1.9k HP. I have, what's my ultimate cooldown here? Ultimate cooldown is 86 seconds, or 88 seconds, sorry. Just about. Fling is 7.5, W is 13.5, so good amount of CDR. 20 ability haste, let's see, is equivalent to... It's equivalent to, I can't see the thing, about 21% is how much I'm getting from 26 total haste. Because we have Hextech Dragon, which gives ability haste as well. So here, let me just rewind this a little bit so you guys can see. I was wondering why. I was like, yeah, Hextech Dragon, that'll do it. So I know that Gangplank can't deal with me. He probably thinks that he can like outpoke me in a fight, and he probably thinks that I'm not gonna be able to hurt him, but I can't imagine why else he'd be walking that far up. But look at that. That's the auto and the Q from Gangplank. I took some damage, but you know, relative to his health bar, he's taking more, right? So I just have so much more HP to play around with. There's his flash, but normally I'd back off here if I had other items because one, I would have less HP, and he would probably have gotten away. But because I have Anathemas, it reduced a 74 damage, and not to mention on top of that, you know, 74, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it'll add up a lot faster this game as the game goes on. But the fact that I just have so much flat HP and CDR, like, he can't push me off of him whenever I'm all-inning him, not easily anyways. He has to play like beyond perfectly. I don't even know if mathematically he would have enough damage to... Oh, my replay crashed. Hold on one second, let me pull that back up. Don't know why that happened, sorry. I don't even know if mathematically he would have like enough damage to kill me there, even if I stood still and just let him hit me until I like walked away, you know what I mean? So something to consider. Here, let's forward this a little bit back to where we were. Oh, that wasn't even it. So it would have actually been further here, I think. No, that was when I all-ined him, so I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. So this is where I killed him with the dive, and then Victor comes top to defend. But Victor coming top to defend is actually good for us because then Karma can just shove mid. And bear in mind while I'm proxying, I'm going to do another proxy guide, by the way, guys, but bear in mind while I'm proxying, I'm always looking for, you know, vision, thinking about where the jungler is. If I see, excuse me, if I ever see Wukong, like, on anywhere, like, so imagine my mouse being a line right here. If I ever see Wukong, like, anywhere between, like, from this side of the map to the right, then I'm probably fine, right? But if he's anywhere like on this side of the map, in this little rectangle right here that I'm drawing with my mouse cursor, like this right here, this area, I'm probably dead if I'm proxying. But if I ever see him here, if I see him like here, see him here, over here, even on Dragon, right? I'm just good to go. Because Gangplank's not gonna solo kill me. He's not even gonna kill me with Victor. You know, I have 2,000 health at 40 minutes or at 14 minutes. You know, like, that's an absurd amount of HP to have with one item. Because normally if you have Demonic, which is plus 450, then you're still a lot squishier than this. And bear in mind, while Demonic is a good item to have, you have to think, how hard would it be to farm up a Demonic? Like, when you're... Let me run this a little bit as they gank me. How hard would it be to farm up a Demonic, like, while you're getting completely poked and crushed by Gangplank, right? And that's why this is so good versus counter matchups. Obviously, in like in most melee matchups, I wouldn't think to do this in most melee matchups, but versus a range matchup like Gangplank, yes, he's ranged. For all intents and purposes, versus a Singed, he is ranged, right? I know some people will be like, oh, but I play Irelia, Gangplank's a melee champion. Okay. Singed doesn't have gap closers or forward damage, so for the purposes of the matchup, Gangplank is a ranged champion, right? But yeah, so watch the Wukong gank me here, and they use Gangplank barrels, they use Gangplank ultimate, Wukong ultimate, and then Wukong is just fighting me here, right? And how much health did I come out with? About 800 after the Bard heal, which the Bard heal hits for how much? 60, so I would have about 740 HP. After they both like just clapped my cheeks and tried to kill me and they couldn't. So I walk away. I get ignited there as well. I eat an ignite and I walk away with about 90 HP left. Then I think my team overcommits a little bit here. You know, if we were a bit more lucky, we would have just aced them right here and probably they would have FF'd, but they turned the fight a little bit, so you know, whatever happens, all good. It made for a banger game though. So here's Bard recalling. He has DMP actually, which is an absolute Chad move. He's chasing these guys out. I'm predatoring. I'm not predatoring, but I'm walking back up towards Gangplank here. Predator boots are actually down, but I see Bard over here with the flank, and I don't think Gangplank sees him. So, oh, I forgot to mention. As we kill this guy, I should mention. I actually switched my Anathemas to Wukong because Gangplank was AFK from top for a bit. I think he was just like, I don't know what he was doing in the fountain or something, but I switched it to Wukong. Then right there, as I saw Gangplank, I switched it back. Another benefit, by the way, that is of Anathema's chains is, you know, if somebody else on their team is getting fed and you're not strong enough to deal with them yet, well, hey, you can just pop Anathemas on them and you're a lot tankier against them in a team fight, right? With Singed, a lot of the time, living longer is damage because your poison is a damage over time, right? So while you're not going to be dealing as much raw DPS as you would if you had Demonic Rush or even a Rylai's Rush, right? The fact that you live for so long can kind of make up for it. Obviously, Demonic, if you're even slightly even or ahead, will completely out DPS Anathemas, but like that's not the point, right? The point is that this item lets me survive the matchup where I normally would just get completely shafted. And then in addition to that, I can prevent him from getting back into the game by putting damage reduction on him. That makes it harder for him to, like, you know, one tap me out of a bush or something where I'm just like not able to respond to it. So right there we saw Gangplank in the lane as one of our wards died. So Bard pushes the ultimate, and then Gangplank panics and stops his back, run him down and just kill him. He has an Essence Reaver and he has Serrated Dirk, and he just doesn't do damage to me. I have Anathema's Chains, I have Ruby Crystal, Blasting Wand, Amp Tome. I have 2.3k HP, and then 154 AP with level 2 ult. What's without level 2 ult? 94 AP. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of AP, but I'm so hard to kill. Anathema's Chains has reduced 427 damage so far. As this game goes on, it's going to get a lot higher. Like, I know what you're thinking, 427 doesn't sound that good, but think about it, right? Like, the combination of everything, again, is making me really hard for him to deal with, and he's having problems, which is awesome. Then later in the game, okay, so I'm going for a TP play here. Ooh, run down, run down, run down. I finished Demonic there. That's another point, actually. I should mention that Demonic Embrace and Anathema's Chains as your first two items have very good synergy for the same purpose, the same reason why Chem Tank and Demonic have very good synergy. Now, Chem Tank is not, it's a little bit more expensive than Anathema's. It's 2.8k. Anathema's 2.5k, so you're saving about, it is 2.5, right? Yeah, you're saving about 300 gold. Anathema's actually makes you harder to kill than Chem Tank does, because it gives you almost twice the HP and just raw damage reduction. Yeah, you don't get resistances, and you don't get like the flame damage, and you don't get the Chem Tank damage. You don't get the gap closer, but you save money, and then you can pair it with Demonic Embrace. Ability power from health with just the Anathemas, by the way, right now is plus 24. So my 60 AP Demonic Embrace is actually 84 AP. Then as this game goes on, as I get more items, it's going to end up being like a 100 AP item, which is awesome. 100 AP off of one item because you're abusing the passive is actually fantastic for Singed. For context, the only other AP item that gives you 100 AP, I think, is Nashor's Tooth and Shadow Flame. Nashor's Tooth, I can't build it versus Gangplank. I can build it versus like Scion or something, but I can't build it versus Gangplank. He's too mobile, and I need like tanky stats to deal with him, right? With Scion, he's not very mobile, and you just beat him down with Nashor's if you decide to go in. Maybe you shouldn't if you're inexperienced with Singe, but if you're pretty experienced, you can, obviously. I've done it before. Something to think about when you're playing versus Scions, but that being said, you probably don't even have to because Demonic Embrace is just such a good anti-Scion on him anyways. So here we have me putting my body in mid lane, running down the Sivir. She even pops heal, she can't get away. I'm just too tanky, I'm just too fast. Like, they can try and turn and DPS me, but they know it's a waste of time because I'm so tanky. I see Gangplank run into him in the bush, and he's cutting out the barrel, whatever, it's fine. I get the fling, he messes up his barrel combo, and he can't get away, you know? He can't leave. I'm 1070 damage reduction on Anathema's, almost 1100. And this is what I mean. So he had Prowler's Claw, he had Essence Reaver, and double crit gloves, or double crit cloaks. And he can't touch me still, you know? It's like, this is the point in the game, even though he's 0 and 9, this is the point in the game where Gangplank is supposed to kind of turn on and like start insta-clearing waves, deleting carries, or even like in this case, he's so far behind, maybe like heavily chunking carries, you know? He's able to more readily deal with frontline because he has so much damage. But against this, like, yeah, I don't have any armor besides Tabby, but do I need it yet? Not really. But if I need to go armor, I can then later on switch my Anathemas over to Victor. Then I have damage. I have like pseudo MR, right? Victor doesn't have any true damage. He doesn't have ignite. His abilities don't deal true damage. So it's essentially the same as having magic resistance when every other champ on their team deals pure physical damage, and then I have damage reduction against Victor. It's like it works, right? It's how the item is able to function. It's quite nice. And then I have MR on my ultimate anyway, so it's like also good. Not to mention, I didn't mention this, but here I am running out of the bush Predator, just rotating for obvious team fight. Not to mention, Singed uses health like way better than almost every champ in the game because your ultimate gives you so many resistances. Like level 3 ultimate is 90 armor and MR, right? So Singed's ability to use HP is just almost unparalleled in the game. I can think of very few champions that work better with HP. I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Than Singed. So here's what we're looking for. We see them on these wards like poking over near Baron, right? They're clearing wards and stuff, so I'm gonna go over there. I know that they can't kill me. Like, I'm very aware that I'm super hard to deal with. I have 3.2k almost HP. I have 31 AP from Demonic, so I have 90 AP from 91 AP on Demonic right now. Then my total AP before ultimate's about 180. Then walking forward here with the Predator, with the Ghost, with the ultimate. And the Victor, like, because I have Cloud Dragon, like, he can't get away. He even pops his flash to try and leave, and he can't, right? And look how, I don't even have Anathema's chains on him. I took, like, 5 tower shots, or 4 tower shots, and his laser Q auto combo twice. And I leave the tower dive with 2,000 health. About, what is it here? About 1,800 HP, right? A little less than. But how insane is that? Then we just walk over to Baron. Like, Gangplank's getting bot tier 2, but whatever, right? Eventually he's gonna get something if he's playing like that, where he's just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, right? But that's okay. We get Baron for it. Now I have Rylai's. There's Gangplank R down. I have Rylai's. I have another Ruby Crystal. So I have 3.5k health. He just dies, because I guess he's super tilted at this point. Not that I blame him, but he just dies. So I have 3.5k HP, pushing down bot lane. I also have Cloud Soul, so if I need to engage, I can. And right here, I'm afraid of exactly 0 people on their team. I guess I should explain a little bit more about the Fiora Camille thing, because Fiora and Camille, I'm pushing bottom while my team's pushing mid. I'm picking help here. My team messed up a little bit because they are just over-forcing their hand here a little bit, for sure. They get poked out by the Nexus towers slightly. And what they should have done was rotate down to me, because I knew we didn't have the power to end the game there, but they ended up staying in the base here a little bit, which is very greedy. More on the Camille Fiora topic. If you're playing in like Platinum or below, you should be banning Nasus. But if you're playing in what you would consider high elo, like Diamond Plus, I recommend banning Camille or Fiora, and then asking your team to ban the other one. Because at that rating, you're gonna have to worry about like too many champions, and you need some bans to help you out on Singed when you're climbing in high elo. So I usually ask for the Camila or Fiora ban, then ban the other one myself, and usually teams are okay with it to do that, which is good. However, in Platinum or below, you have to kind of ban Nasus, because Nasus, like, Singed just absolutely can't deal with him, because Singed does not do enough damage early with any build, you know, with Conquer or Ignite, anything, even First Strike, to deal with Nasus. So Nasus kind of just scales for free. Here, and that's why you ban Nasus. Here I TP under tower because my Karma still has Baron, and she was pushing as my team gets poked out of the enemy base. The Karma's pushing, she's being a good macro player, so I TP on the minion to get the tower a bit faster. And I don't even have ultimate here, by the way. I'm 3.7k HP right now. I'm building towards a Rift Maker because I have so much HP. The fight's gonna last so long for me that Rift Maker will give me massive value here. And then I just straight tower dive the Victor with no ultimate, and we kill him. Unfortunately, Karma dies, but I'm looking at my ultimate, or at my ability bar. I have ultimate coming up soon, so I know that there's 3 people here. Pyke is here, Gangplank's here, and Wukong is here. So I'm kiting back, pop the ultimate, and I deal so much damage. I don't even probably need to dodge the barrel there, but I do just in case. He kills me. No, he doesn't. And then Wukong kills me after I kill 2. So Anathema's chains 1.6k damage reduction. Let's actually check how much damage Gangplank got reduced that fight. All right, so before this, Anathema's chains is 12.8. We'll call it 1300. So here I actually dodge the barrel, right? What does he do? Puts a barrel down, tries to kite me out, hits me with, I think, auto Q after he misses the barrel. Yeah, auto, W, Q, auto. There it is. And I have 1570 reduction, so I would have died. Bear in mind, Anathema's right here in this fight is making the difference. Because if I didn't reduce that damage, I would have already been dead, and I wouldn't have gotten the Pyke kill. Pyke would have killed me. Now this way, Gangplank doesn't kill me. Gangplank does not get the 1000 gold shutdown. Wukong gets it. And yeah, it sucks for Wukong to have a 1000 gold shutdown, but better than Gangplank, you know what I mean, having it. So here I am, I'm dead. All good. I have so much HP and AP. Demonic is giving me 38 AP right now. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 98 ability power, which is just insane. I'm pinging my team back there because I'm not alive. I am the main carry threat right now, which you don't get to be a lot of Singed, so I don't like to throw whenever I'm the main carry threat. Let me carry a game once in a while, you know what I mean? Let me do it. I should mention this game was played off stream as well because I was testing out new stuff. I like to test stuff out off stream before I bring it on stream. Bard gets caught here, but let me show you from the enemy team's perspective what a Nightmare Fuel looks like. So you saw me walk in the bush here. We're hiding in here. Watch this. I'll even take down the stats tab. Out of the bush comes the menace. Here comes Singed, round the corner. Left turn. NASCAR. Run him down. You see me just make a big giant poison circle and everyone just dies. Then back into Fog of War like the true menace I am. Yeah, in the middle of that fight, when I was playing the game, I was having an absolute blast. That was so much fun. So here I go, back towards top. And yeah, with Cloud Dragon, they have a hard time kiting because it gets so fast. Pyke overextends a bit. He thinks he's more mobile than he actually is. But we poke him out, and we take top inhibitor, or top tier 3, sorry. Words are hard. Then we back for Elder. Bard solos Pyke there, absolute Chad God mode. I take blue so I have mana. Here, I see Wukong, and I don't even care, I'm running straight at him, because I know that there's such a low chance for me to die. Gangplank ults to try and steal Elder, and misses it. We get Elder, and now these guys have Elder Dragon and Singed Poison on them, and they're freaking out. Demonic gets one for me there, Bard gets 2. I think, yeah, so watch this. Bard tries to ult me and he can't. But my AP is 371 here. Oh, it's so good. So good. Yeah, my next item would have been a Rift Maker if the game lasted long enough. Because I'm just so tanky. And if Sivir or Victor ever got fed, I can just switch to Sivir or Victor. I can switch to whatever carry threat is going to deal the most damage to me on the Anathemas. But let me show you guys the damage chart real quick, just so you guys have a reference as to how I popped off this game, besides just the KDA. So, where's my webcam? Here it is. So, damage chart. that game, I had the highest damage in the game. I out-damaged Xayah by a little over 100 damage, and I started with a full tank item. Right? My KDA ending was 13, 2, and 12, and just absolutely popped off. Now, that being said, damage dealt is not the only indicator of how well you played, and I don't like that mentality, but I will say, it does feel good to be able to buy a tank item first and still do the highest damage in the game. So, something to consider, guys. If you're stuck in a lane as Singed and your jungler is not pathing towards you, or even if they are, if you're stuck versus like a Lucian versus a Gangplank, you know, versus a Gnar, Teemo, stuff like that, Anathema's Chains, man, it is very good, and I think you guys should try it out. Obviously, you shouldn't do it if you're versus like a champion that you can actively fight, or that's not going to put you too far behind. If you're in a matchup where you're very comfortable, you shouldn't do it. But when you're in a counter matchup that's just going to butt poke the crap out of you, then you should really like consider buying Anathemas, because it's like, one, Singed is one of the few people in the game that can get away with something like this because you're able to abuse HP so well because of your ultimate. And two, it's so cheap. So because you might have lower gold income in the lane where you're versus a champion like this, you know, you can still buy the item and finish it in a reasonable amount of time, assuming you're not getting completely blasted out of the lane before you even have it, right? But very good stuff overall. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you have any questions or anything about this game, I'd love to hear in the comments and stuff like that. But yeah, bit of a throwback video for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And that is going to be it for me for today. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.